What's up, freaks? I'm trying something new today and recording my first introduction, so here we go. Today, I interviewed my friend Jess Boelkens, who has worked for my restaurant Freak Brothers for almost 5 years now. She is a mother, a flow artist, a partner, and just overall positive, amazing human being. Really love dropping in with her. Motherhood was the primary topic that we covered, and how she balances working full-time, being a mother, being a partner, and having passions, hobbies, and interests outside of that as well. So if any of that interests you, I think you'll find the episode today really fascinating and useful. I also want to make an ask. So anyone who has been supporting my podcast for a while, who's ever reached out to me, who's gotten any kind of value out of listening to one of these episodes, I've really invested a lot of my own personal time, money, energy into creating this podcast, and I would love for it to reach more people. So if you could make a review for me for this podcast, What the Freak, on Apple Podcasts, that would mean a lot to me. That would be huge. I would really appreciate that. And I'm going to be coming up with some ways to also just shout out and appreciate and even reward our listeners as we move forward and grow the podcast. So if you can leave me a review, it'll only take about 2 minutes to do that. I'll put a link in the show notes as well as our social media profiles. That would mean the world to me. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sharing if you've ever shared one of our episodes with somebody. And if you could leave us a review, that would mean a lot. We really want to grow this podcast, these conversations, this movement. So any support you can give us would be awesome. Without further ado, we'll jump into the episode. Enjoy. Welcome back, y'all, for another episode of What the Freak. Excited and honored to be joined today by my good friend, Jess Boelkens. We've known each other for a number of years now in various capacities, and I'm super excited to dive into a conversation with you today. Welcome, Jess.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be a part of What the Freak.
I mean, you're definitely a freak. You're an OG freak, actually.
OG.
Technically.
Yes. It's been really fun being part of the team.
Yeah. So do you want to just share a little bit about kind of who you are, how we know each other, and what you're doing with your life right now?
Yes, most definitely. So I'm Jessica, of course. I've been with Freak Brothers since November 2017, I believe. I had reached out to you through Facebook just to see what's up because I had heard about you through our good friend Cameo, actually, Foxy Fruit, and she had mentioned you and like your team, and then I had seen you out at Mendoza Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing you guys out there, and it just loved the vibe, loved like the whole concept, and I was like, I want to do that. And so when I was performing actually with the Desert Canvas team at that event, and so Cameo was part of that, and so that's when she had introduced Freak Brothers to me, and yeah, I got your information and reached out, and now here we are 5 years later.
Wow. Yeah, I still remember, I think it was like your first real event you were at. It was like a running race up in Cave Creek, I want to say, and I remember teaching you how to make pizzas, and oh man, I think you may have been like the slowest pizza maker I had worked with up to that point. And wow, you've come a long way, and now you're just like one of our most highly skilled pizza makers. It's so cool to just, watch our humble beginnings, and I love witnessing growth in myself and other people and all of us. And it's just been, your growth journey has just been one of the most amazing to witness and be a part of, and to just continue to develop our friendship too, while also working together has just been awesome. So yeah, super excited to sit down with you today and have a little chat.
Yes, thank you. It's pretty cool because like we have our coworkers coming in that have had pizza experiences, and it's been crazy to just be like learn from you directly, because this is my first pizza place. Like I've been in the food industry for years before coming to Freak Bros, and being like learning the whole process of how to make a pizza has just been really fun, and just it's an art form.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Learning about life through making pizzas.
Really? I'm also a flow artist. I do LED and fire performing, and that has been a passion of mine before I had started Freak Brothers. And then there's been a lot of growth since then. I am now a mother, which is so wild to think.
The most amazing little human.
Phoenix Ryder. He's such a cool dude. He'll be 2 next month.
Whoa.
Yeah, time has been flying by.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's been a lot of learning, a lot of balancing, and it's been an obstacle learning how to do that, but it's been also a fun journey too, and you're blessed with like a little kid looking up to you, and it's really fun raising him.
Yeah, it was amazing to see him up at June Jam a couple weekends ago, and to have your family up there while working and making pizzas and chilling at the festival. It's just such a cool vibe.
Right? They're like our own little mascots.
Little support squad. Yeah. So tell me a little more about that. How do you balance working a full-time job, being a mother, having a partner, and also living like 45 minutes away one way? How do you balance all of that? How do you find time in the day? And
well,
how do you keep your sanity?
I'm not gonna lie, like it's definitely stressful, but overall it is a beautiful experience. With being a full-time mom at first, because I was a stay-at-home mom in the beginning, and it was really fun, kind of lonely though. Like I was always a hands-on go person, and so being like stuck at home with a child needing your needs every moment, it was kind of draining, and like I missed work. And so after about 8 months, that's when I reached back out to Freak Bros and wanted to get back into the flow of things, and because I felt I was ready. And Sebastian and I, so we have a schedule where it works between us, where we don't have to hire a sitter. So because nowadays the price of a sitter is crazy expensive, so we're grateful that we have that balance of him working during the week and I work on the weekends. He's more in a corporate job, so during the week is perfect, especially when being in the restaurant industry, having it be busy on the weekends. It works out perfect. So that's a good balance there. Truthfully, like family time, it's hard to find that, because like especially when he's working during the week and I'm on the weekends, there's like we're passing each other. But having the evenings available during the week is nice because we have dinner together. So it's better than not seeing each other at all. But we actually have the luxury to be able to take off and do the things that we want to do on the weekends. If we wanted to, like, go out of town, go to a festival, go visit family, like, we're able to do that. So even though we have to work hard in between, we always look forward to something on the weekends to do something together. So the balance is hard, but we are figuring it out.
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're just keep figuring out in each new phase. And one thing I heard in what you were saying is there's some sacrifice that's involved. You know, it's hard to get every piece of everything that you want all at the same time, but it sounds like you're finding that balance for yourself, and like the overall, like the sacrifices you have to make are overall worth it in the bigger picture of things.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard in the moment. We miss each other. We want to be more together, but life. But we do a pretty good job, I think, for sure. And the drive between, like, Phoenix and Maricopa, I don't think it's, like, it wasn't it's not as bad because I'm grateful, or we're both grateful because we actually going to work and coming home from work, we're kind of missing the traffic. I mean, there are some times where we'll like run into that, but luckily our hours, we kind of get to miss it. But if you are on that 347, you're stuck in there like from an accident or something, you could be there for like 2 hours or something. So that's a little stressful because it's like you just want to be home right away and like be with your family, but you have to, it's like you're off work, but you still have to drive an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour. So you have to add that into your day, but it's not the worst thing once we made it.
Yeah. What originally got you into flow arts and even performing with the flow arts? How did that all begin?
Yeah, so I actually was a senior in high school, and my cousin, she had shown me, she was a year younger than me, and she went to another high school, and she had known someone who was doing like hula hooping. And she had shown me a video, and I was just like, whoa, that's amazing. I want to learn how to do that. Because it was so much more than just hooping around your waist. It was like all movement, like using your full body, using your arms and legs. And I just like thought it was really beautiful. I was like, that's so cool. And so then one day after that, I bought a hula hoop. And ever since then, I just looked up more videos and what I could do with that, and learned and practiced. And then I had graduated high school and moved out to Arizona just to start a new journey. And my sister was living out here at the time, and so I moved in with her, which was really nice to like have some familiarity with her in Arizona. And so then when I got out here, I started to meet other hoopers. Because I didn't have a hula hoop out here when I had visited. I forgot this. I had visited one time to my sister's, and I didn't have a hula hoop at the time because I didn't bring mine from Chicago. And so I had ordered one or looked them up online, and I met with another hooper who was selling them. And so I bought a hoop out here, and then that introduced me to the hoop community out here. And then I started going to flow jams, and just being able to flow with other artists was just really inspiring. And then one of my girlfriends actually had shown me a video of fire hooping.
Oh.
And that's when I'm like, whoa, you could put fire on a hula hoop? That's amazing. Like, I want to learn how to do that. So then I had gone to the music festival Gem and Jam 2015, and I was just attending there, and then I had ran into this one person, Felix the Fire Cat, and he was carrying around these fans, and I'm like, wow, those are really cool. I really like the structure of them. And he was like, oh, cool, thank you. Like, I'm selling them. I haven't like put them out yet, but like you could grab a pair if you want. And I'm like, what like, okay. Like, it just came to me. And so wow. That moment I bought those fans, and that was my first fire prop. You would think it would be the fire hoop, but it actually wasn't. It was the fire fans, and I had just started that, and that was a passion since the first time I lit up. It just memorizing. It's beautiful. It's powerful especially when you're working with fire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you've since like performed for some pretty well-known artists, right?
Yeah, I have definitely. So starting in like 2016, I would say that's when I started like hooping more and getting more introduced into performing. I've always had a passion for performing. I was in cheerleading. Always loved that. Competitions was always such like a fun thing for me. Just not competing against other teams, but just like the whole like atmosphere of just like, it's got a big crowd, you're on stage, you got all the lights. Like, it was just always fun for me on competition days. So yeah, I just kind of always had it in me. And then when I found out that you can perform at these festivals, it just kind of like sparked me and just wanted me to apply and see what I could do. And I've had pretty cool experiences. I've done Gem and Jam. I've done Bass Nectar's roaming performers at his curated events. Those were really fun. I've done like Horizons and like a lot of events in Chicago and Arizona, all around here. So it's been really fun. Yeah.
Wow. So that's like a pretty important community for you then over the years. You've like really met a lot of cool people through that.
Oh, I sure have. Yes. Some of my closest friends are flow artists as well. Yeah, it's been really cool to have that community because we're all interested in similar things and they're just really loving, positive people. I mean, you got Burning Man. They're all like got the burner squad.
Oh, yeah.
I have not yet gone, but that is a dream of mine to be able to do. It's been amazing. I have some friends in like a fire conclave that's going to be joining Burning Man this year, and so I'm really excited for them. I hope to do that one day.
Bring the fam out there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously. I don't know when would be a good like time to bring Phoenix to Burning Man, but one day.
Yeah, it'll happen for sure.
Yeah, actually, one of my flow artists is now a freak with me. She moved out. Angelica moved out here from Illinois to Arizona, and I brought her onto the freak team, and it's been really fun having her on.
Yeah, oh, Angelica's great. We love having her out. She had such a blast at the music festival we just did, and there's such a cool like parallel between like pizza making and flow arts. I feel like I feel like pizza making is kind of its own flow art in
100%.
a way. It's like just like similar principles, you know, and you get in that zone, you get in that groove, and you're just like stretching the pies or topping them or cooking them, and you're just like, yeah, in that flow state. It's just like another way to access that flow state, and you're doing it with typically other people too.
Yes.
Which is cool. It's like the team aspect of it as well. Not that we're like, I mean, we kind of are performing when we're making pizzas, especially out of like a music festival, you know, even in the shop. It's
yeah,
like,
we're an open kitchen.
Yeah.
So people see us.
People are watching us.
Yeah, we're killing it.
We're just performing every day.
My favorite.
People get to experience the benefits of us performing well.
Yeah, it's 100% art. It's like my favorite thing about being in the pizza industry is like making the base of the pie, because it's like a canvas, and then you have, like, I say this all the time, like, pizza is an art form because you got your canvas, which is your base of your pizza, and you have your sauce and your toppings, which is like painting, and then you put it in the oven and like sealing your topping of your canvas, and then you pull it out, and then you got a masterpiece. And then after you dry, you got a masterpiece. Like, and then when your customers come up, like, the best part, most rewarding part is when they say, like, wow, that looks amazing, or like, you guys are awesome. Like, just, it's so rewarding, their reaction to their pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something really meaningful about, like, being able to bring joy to people. And I feel like that's something that I really love about pizza making is it's a very simple way to just inspire joy in someone when they see that pizza, when they take that first bite, you know, especially if they've never had it before, never had a freak roast pizza, and they're just like, oh my God, like, this is so good. It's just like so fulfilling in the moment, you know?
For sure. And then just, like, tossing the dough in the air, too. Like, that's a whole nother art form. Like, not everyone could do it, but you gotta get it with the flick of the wrist.
Yeah, totally. There's so many little pieces to the craft, and, like, little things you can do, you know, just like within, the flow arts like hooping, there's like tons of little tricks and stuff that you can do, and you can just keep like adding to your repertoire of what you're capable of, and just keep improving like the smoothness of your flow, and just like continue to refine it to another level. It's like really cool to like have a craft to work on like that you can just like keep getting better at over time.
Right. And then nowadays they have these flow toys that are made of fabric that you could toss like a pizza dough.
Oh, yeah, like Nate Dogg's
Yeah.
flow toy.
It's called the Flow Star, and it's super cool.
Oh my God. Yeah, I couldn't believe that they made that, and in the Freak Bros colors.
Right. It's so perfect. Nate Dogg, we miss you.
Shout out Nate Dogg. We love you. You actually just got a new flow toy today, didn't you?
I did, yes. I'm so excited. I've been waiting 6 months for those. It is an LED fan from Russia. It's this company based out of there, and then with the whole like war going on, there's been a lot of setback and unable to like send out packages, I guess, overseas. So there's a pause on that. So they finally made it here today. I'm so excited to play with them.
Yeah.
Getting a new prop is definitely like motivating, because when you're just getting like stuck in reality and in the workflow and in like mom life, like you get caught up and you don't really take that time for yourself. And so having a new prop is just kind of really motivating to start playing again. And I wish that wasn't the case. I mean, I just need to be more disciplined. But I'm very excited to get back into just flowing again. I had my first performance back at June Jam this past weekend, a couple weeks ago. My first performance back since having Phoenix. So
wow. How was it?
It was really good. Just the feeling that I had was really familiar, and I just missed that feeling, and it just like felt really good to reconnect with that side of myself.
Wow. That's so awesome. And you got to do it with your family there.
Right? Yes. That was one of the most exciting parts, was being able to show Phoenix what I do. Granted, he was just waking up during my set, so he probably didn't 100% register that was me, but still the fact that I was able to do that with them in the crowd was really awesome. I was able to perform for Mindex, which ironically was the last performance that I had before becoming pregnant. Wow. It was kind of like a full circle. And that was just like, so going up there just even felt more like empowering.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think next year I definitely want to focus more on the performing part, but also with the balance, of course, working with Freak Brothers.
Yeah, it sounds like the flow arts is also kind of your me time. It's like a time for you to
express myself.
Kind of take a step back from all the other things that you do and your responsibilities, and you get to just like, it's like almost like self-care time, just self-time for you, because you're busy working mother and partner, and it's nice that you have that just outlet. Like positive creative outlet that you can pour yourself into and just like keep enjoying yourself and getting better at it. That's really awesome. Now everybody has like found that outlet for themselves, I feel like.
Yeah, most definitely. I think I agree with that. I think having a hobby is definitely important. I am not always like on top of my like self-care game as I should be, because I think self-care is really important too, and I am making it a more thing to focus on, because we do get like lost in reality and like doing all the normal stuff that we have to do, but getting into a flow state is really like good, and I miss that. Like it definitely boosts you up when you're in that flow state. And so reconnecting with taking that time for yourself is really, really important.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear a little more, like what really shifted for you once you became a mother? Like what does it mean to you to be a mother, and like how has that shifted your relationship with your life?
So, I actually never even planned on becoming a mother before having Phoenix. I actually wanted to be that cool Auntie Jessie that always like traveled and like went out and doing my thing and going to festivals and being a part of community. And not saying that I just don't do those now, but when I got pregnant, it was definitely like a setback, which is okay. Like, it's okay to take that once in a while, because when you're on a go, 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 you kind of forget, like, the present moment and just, like... So when I found out I was pregnant, like, it was a big change because... Like, again, I wasn't expecting on being a mother. To be honest, I did go through that, like, situation of, like, do I keep him or do I get rid of him? Which that's another thing, like, another whole topic that is very, like, scary and stressful for women right now, because with the whole thing going on with abortions. But I'm very grateful for my... family for all their support, because knowing that I had backup helped me make my decision. And so becoming a mother was definitely new and different for me, especially when that mindset wasn't in my cards in the past. So definitely a lot of change, but like it's a different kind of change in like a positive, relaxing way. Like, I didn't think I could do it, but I'm a very like positive, laid back person, so it kind of all came naturally for me. I've always been a caring, loving person, so it's definitely been a nice transition for me going into motherhood. Yeah, and definitely like having all of the support is really important, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah, it's been a fun journey. There's definitely hard times. Sometimes it's lonely, because like you're able to used to go out and do anything that you want to, but now you have to sacrifice the things that you want to do, and can't always do that. But it's been a really cool journey to be able to take Phoenix on these adventures with us. We are not letting ourselves like be put on the back burner just because we have a kid. Like, we are taking him with us, and I think that's really important to show him all of these different like life experiences.
Yeah, and how cool is that to like for a kid to grow up in that kind of environment and lifestyle? Like, what a cool upbringing to be like, oh yeah, my parents like took me to these festivals. And how many is Phoenix been to now? 3 or 4?
4.
4? Wow, that's so cool. And he's not even 2 years old.
Yeah, I'm really excited for his life, honestly. I'm excited to give him the best life.
I just want to say, like, I love your attitude and your mindset and approach to all of that. And I also want to say I just appreciate your honesty and your vulnerability, that, you didn't necessarily plan for this. It wasn't what you thought. It's not what you thought you'd be doing right now, or the lifestyle you'd be living right now. But, once you kind of made that decision of, okay, this is happening. I love how you've approached, weaving that into the lifestyle that you still desire to create for yourself, and not just completely, sacrificing the things that are most important to you. Because I don't think it has to be that way. And I just love that you realize that and are like, you know what, I'm going to like make the best of this and turn this into like a positive, like this unexpected thing, and weave it into the lifestyle you want to create together and do it together. So I think that's just a really amazing example that you are of there's not like one right way to do it.
Yeah.
There's not one right way to be a mother or to have a family or to, you are from everything that you describe, like you're designing your life intentionally is what I want to say. And that's really awesome because not everybody even realizes they can do that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier said than done, but when I'm really grateful how good Phoenix is. Like, I'm really grateful because I know there are kids that like have like little spasms, and of course Phoenix does too, but like overall he's very chill. Like, I'm grateful for a very smooth pregnancy. I'm really grateful for a very smooth birth, and I'm very grateful for just Phoenix being a very chill guy. I know some mothers like don't have that, and I know it's definitely hard, so having the support system is definitely key, and checking in on your friends that have kids are really important because we miss like seeing our friends and going out and doing things, but like know that we want to hang out, and even though if our kid is with me, but hopefully like people don't mind that.
Totally. Yeah, my friends who have kids, I just have so much respect for them because although I haven't had that experience in this life, at least not up to this point, I have a nephew, so I get to hang out with him sometimes, and it's always fun, but I know it can be a challenge too to, varying degrees, I'm sure, for different people to be responsible for this little human and like all their needs and like making sure that they're met and taken care of. And, for me, I think the closest I can relate to that is starting a business, because that really is a huge sacrifice. It's my baby, yeah. Fortunately, my baby's 8 years old now. He can kind of walk and talk and mostly take care of himself most of the time and don't have to be there 24/7 anymore, which is great. Other people help to take care of my baby now, which is great. Now it's like kind of our baby. And but it takes a village to raise a child, they say. And, I'm so grateful that you have that support that you need. And, I feel like we all need to support each other more the best we can because everybody's got their own unique situations and responsibilities, and like we need to be there for each other more. So, I just really love your whole attitude and approach to being a parent.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's definitely more exciting than being like stressful and overwhelmed. Like, I'm really grateful that I don't get that like overstimulating feeling in me where it's like, where if something's like too much, like I'm grateful I could like handle that. Like sometimes Phoenix is always like wanting my attention, just wanting to hold on to me, and it's like it's okay to just take a moment and like hold him and like just sit with him for a moment. Like granted, I'm not getting anything done that I need to, but I mean like just take a moment. They're not going to be little forever, Just enjoy it. And so it's been really fun for me, very exciting, especially when that wasn't in my cards in the past. So now that it is, we're even thinking about another one. So it's crazy how life changes and just so quickly.
Wow. Yeah, I know that, my brother, like his kid has brought him just so many positive things. It is a responsibility and you may not always plan for it, but it's also just been like a huge, huge blessing in his life, I know. So, and I think that's just kind of life sometimes too. It's like life will take twists and turns in directions that you don't expect. But, once it makes a turn, you say, okay, this is now the new direction my life's headed in. And I can either resist that, or I can go with it.
Right.
And go with the flow and choose that and work with it and accept it. And I think once you get to that place of acceptance, then you can just do so much more with that, because you're not spending all this energy resisting it or wishing that it would be different. You're saying, no, this is how it is, and this is how I'm choosing it, and I'm going to like continue making the best of this and turn
Most
it
definitely.
into the life that I desire to live.
Yes, I agree. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Definitely just going with the flow always.
Yeah. I also loved when you were talking about, you know, you just being such a chill person and like bringing that energy to motherhood. I think that's so beautiful that you get to take like the qualities that you most value in yourself and just show up in that way, and that is like beneficial, it sounds like, in being a mother. And you get to, it sounds like you're coming from your strengths, and it sounds like you're coming from just who you are and just showing up and giving that, rather than like trying to feel like you need to do it a certain way or approach it in a certain way. You just get to be yourself for the most part, and I'm sure there's plenty of opportunity for continuing to grow and refine yourself in that. But I just love that you're just bringing your best qualities to the table and like teaching that and just being that around your child, and like that gets to be like the support that your child needs. That's so cool.
Yes, thank you. I definitely feel like I've always been, like, way before Phoenix, like I've always been a happy, positive, like light person. Like I just don't feed into that negative darkness, and just having that light and just that, like, I don't know, it's life. We have one life. Like, I feel like why waste that on being angry and stressed and, like, negative? Like, I definitely understand having those moments. I definitely get upset. I definitely get angry. But, like, overall, like, we don't got time for that. And I think it's just important to just be in the moment in the best way that you can, and being able to share that with my son. And it's very just important to show him that positive life too. I mean, when he's angry, I let him feel all his feelings, but at the end of the day, like, we don't need to be upset. Like, like, just shake it off. So it's been really fun just to, like, be in that positive, like, light. It's better. I mean, it's more fun.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear a little more too about when you made that transition of choosing to go back to work after around like 8 months, I think you said. What was that transition like, and what would be some kind of advice or wisdom you'd share with maybe a new mother who's looking to do a similar transition? Like, what helped you to make that transition, and how was that transition when you first started, going back to work again?
Yeah, most definitely. So there's a couple things. I mean, one being, like, when you are, like, I was a constant breastfeeding mom. So, like, I was full-time, like, breastfeeding, so I had to pump and do all of that fun stuff. So when you're separating him, and like dropping your supply and having to pump, like, that is definitely challenging. But once we, like, got past that and going back to work, like, it was hard because, like, you have to continue doing that pumping outside of work, I'm sorry. And then going to, like, work was really nice to transfer into that, because, like, when you are home 24 hours with your son, like, again, it gets really lonely. And so being able to get away for a few hours and go to work, it's just, like, really nice to, like, get out of your, like, mom clothes and, like, just lounging around. Like, you just feel more, like better, you feel good, and especially when you're going into a workspace that you really like. And I'm grateful for my workspace to being really fun, that it was a nice and easy transition because it was something that I looked forward to. Because when you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't see your friends often, and you don't get to like interact with people because it's just you and a child that can't talk. So like sometimes you want to go insane because it's like it's just you and a child and you just want to talk to somebody. So transitioning back into work was like something that was looking forward to because you have your friends and your coworkers and just customers that you get to interact with. So for me, it was really like something to look forward to and to like get a break. And I think, there's a lot of moms that love being stay-at-home moms, and I give them so much credit. I also give so much credit to those moms that are single parents, full-time students, and full-time mothers and full-time workers. Like, I'm trying to go to school to become an insurance agent on the side as a little side hustle, and trying to study is really hard when a kid just wants like your attention and then just also working and then also having to cook dinner. Like that's hard. But so yeah, but being a stay-at-home mom, like, and if you are looking to go to work, like I definitely do encourage you to like find a job that like you're interested in, to take it as a break, to get out and not be stuck inside and be alone. Like, I think human interaction is really important.
Yeah, totally. Something that we probably undervalue if we're just kind of so used to having it around. I think that's probably one big thing that a lot of people experienced during the pandemic was realizing the importance of social interactions on our mental health, on our even physical health, I would say. And I think some people deal with it better than others, but I think all of us, regardless, it's like, you know, it goes so long with just being with yourself. You know, even me, I'm like more naturally introverted. I'm totally cool just chilling, being by myself. But I also like need that social interaction. I need that energy exchange and conversation with other humans because like we're social beings. We're not born to, you know, at least, well, most of us are born to just sit in a cave on a mountaintop, you know, by ourselves. It's like we're meant to interact with each other and be in society. And it's cool to hear that, you know, what I heard in that was that it helped you kind of ease that transition back into work because you knew that you had a regular place for those type of positive social interactions that you were craving.
Yeah, most definitely. And like when you're forced to be sitting with yourself, it's a lot different than like choosing to be by yourself. So
yeah.
It's definitely, there is a difference there. And so when you're like able to get out and separate from like being needed and then like having that break and focusing on yourself and taking a moment and just interacting with your customers, your coworkers, your friends, like it's nice. It's nice having like full on conversations with someone other than like a kid.
Who can only make cute little sounds. That's awesome. Is there any other topics around that you wanted to jump into as we kind of look towards wrapping up here pretty soon?
I like when I mentioned earlier with being like having the choice of becoming a mother, and just with what's going on in this world right now for having our abortion rights taken away from us has been really hard and sad for us women right now. And I just want to say that always just please support your wife, your sisters, your mothers, and just to support, because things are hard right now.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for speaking to that. And I honor you and all women who are affected by what's happening right now and the decision that was made, and any suffering and pain and challenges that may come to women first and foremost, and to the men who are in those women's lives who it will also affect as well. I definitely want to just honor everybody with where they're at right now, and just say, I support you. I support you in what you're feeling. And, yeah, it sucks being in a place, as someone who identifies as a man, and like I'm mostly powerless in like a situation like this, other than to just like offer my support however I can to those who might benefit from that. So it's something I don't have any direct control over, other than like, my heart is with you,
Right.
And that's like the best I can do sometimes.
And
is
it's
just
hard
like,
for us too, because it's like we don't really have control right now either. And it's like not only the men, but the women, we don't have that option to be. I mean, we're trying. We're all trying. Men and women are definitely trying to speak up and like do what's right. But unfortunately, like, we don't have a say. Like, we're trying. We definitely have a say, and we are doing what we can. But it's unfortunate that, like, we can only do so much, and they're still going to do what they want to do. The Supreme Court, they're still going to do what they want.
mm-hmm.
And I hope that we can override them in the future.
Yeah, I definitely pray that we can find better solutions around all of this, because there's a lot of perspectives involved, and emotions, and a lot of consequences involved with different decisions. And I just pray that we can find higher resolution solutions, if you will, where we can learn to truly understand each other better, and honor each other, and honor life more deeply and more reverently in whatever way that looks. And I don't even know exactly how that looks. I don't know what those bigger solutions necessarily look like, but I just pray that we like keep moving in that direction, because clearly what's happening right now is
going backwards,
causing a lot of challenges for a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who are upset, frustrated, feeling powerless in this situation. And I just pray that we can find a way to bridge the gap between these opposing sides of